Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. Have to excuse me. I just got up out of the bed because I couldn't sleep, thinking about us, thinking about we the people, thinking about the life we live, thinking about the joy we have been denied, thinking about the pain and suffering that we go through, even at our own power. And I constantly asking, seeking out through the spirit realm of good, of love, to find a way to say to the people a message that they could understand and appreciate. Boy, each time it seems as if a message been given to me a long time ago, and for some strange reason I try to find some easy way to say it and don't say it by doing that. And yet it seems as if everything just boils down to that. And what is that? It says that in order for me to be reaching out, trying to find a message in a spirit world, maybe I should focus right around us and see that message, the answer right in front of my face, even if we don't see it. And what I see, ladies and gentlemen, is really confounding. I see we the people which living on this planet, or those at least which I am associated with or know something about. The number one concern is staying alive. That is the human being's number one concern, is staying alive, not just survival, but staying alive. They will do anything to stay alive. They will live, if could, forever. Even though it's understood that forever means getting old, organs shutting down. It means getting ugly.
This number will be disconnected. Please leave your name and number.
It means pain and suffering. And still dying. When you were young, vibrant, alive, handsome, beautiful, when you could, you wouldn't. And yet, you have to keep in mind that these things have to be done. And if you say you see them, then you must speak it out. And so what I have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is just say this to you. Here, right here, is hell. What I mean with that, the world. When we say the world, what do we refer to when we say the world? The world means hell. So are we living in the world? Then the answer is yes. We are living in hell.
Yeah, I'm with. Yeah. You alright? Pretty good so far?
And if you could understand that while you're young,
I said, you say you pretty good so far?
and you understand the truth, somebody's giving you the truth, and you start living according to the truth, then you would recognize that that truth that you have learned will give you
Okay.
the key to eternal life,
I tried to call you yesterday.
where you could be as vibrant,
Yeah, I tried to call you a couple times.
as exciting in life as ever, and all of that,
Oh, it's 6 o'clock?
because you're walking according to the dictates and the principles of life. Now, what does that mean? That means that the world don't want you.
You up? You getting ready to get your coffee?
That means that the world don't need you, and the world will get rid of you. So the death that some wait for ever to occur, it happens to you early. And so you don't get old and ugly. Because if the world could wake up and see the beauty of God's way, you still wouldn't have to get old and ugly, because you have the solutions to the problems of that which causes that to exist. And by so doing, you will deal with it. That's the way that's done. Well, I guess what I'm basically saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, here's the answer.
Okay.
The world is hell, and we're all living in hell. We are all living in hell. And I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what efforts you're making. We are all living in hell.
Okay.
And there's a way out.
For me?
The way out is to recognize that you're in hell and turn around and go the opposite way. What does that mean, go the opposite way? Do those kinds of things that promotes love in the midst of the hell, wherever you see it is, wherever you see ugliness is. Straighten it up, draw attention to it, glorify the beauty of that which you see. But I'm gonna tell you something, you're in hell. And you've been a fool a long time thinking that you weren't. Because in this place, the most sacred thing is supposed to be a marriage, when two people take a vow before they say spiritual God and before earthly witnesses that they will love each other, cherish each other, treat each other right for as long as they live. No sickness, no poverty will ever come between them. What do you know? Do you know what it would be like to be married as a man and your wife won't even have sex with you? Can't you imagine that would be some heck of a hell? Well, that's the same thing. It happens when you're talking about the life. Man living in the world means man has rejected God. Supposed to be one with God. Supposed to be one with God, but you rejected God. That's why you're in the world. And you want to live forever in the world. So as long as you're living forever in the world, that means you're putting up and going along with everything that's in the world. That's why I say it's everybody. You're going along with everything that's in the world. Some is the benefactor. They're the ones that's running everything. And they are the richest. They're running everything. Really running everything. And then there are those who they pay because they need their services. And there are others that just benefit from it. And then there's those just throwaways. It doesn't matter, you see, because you need that too to keep others in line, knowing if they don't be obedient, they might fall back in that category. And nobody wants to fall back in that category. Because in this whole scenario, nobody knows the truth. All of this represents hell. Nobody knows the truth. Now, there are a few. You heard about a man in the Bible named Moses. He was supposed to have been sent to lead the children out of Egypt and force the government just to let them go. Supposedly they had to go get through some obstacles, but they got through them. And yet they hung out in the wilderness and they never recognized what it meant being in the promised land. And then after that, the people in our day, like Dr. King, let's say Dr. Martin Luther King, man who stood up for righteousness, stood up for it. That's what all of us are supposed to do. Yes, we walked together with him. Lord have mercy. We walked together with Dr. King all while he was here. Many of us went through some changes, but we walked together with him. And when they killed him, my. What happened to the rest of us? See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what the message is. And we were following King. King was following the Spirit of God. And what he was actually doing was, as he was walking, his intent and his hope was to get you to focus on God, so that you wouldn't be following him, you would be following the will of God. And so when they killed Dr. King, they would have found out, the world would have found out that there wasn't nothing, because all of you were led by the same Spirit as Dr. King. You were led by God. You were led by God. And so killing Dr. King doesn't mean anything. Killing Malcolm X doesn't mean anything. Killing Jesus doesn't mean anything. Why? Because every last one of you are led by that same Spirit. In other words, to stop you means to kill all of you. You think they want to set you free like that? Saving you from all that old age? Saving you from all that ugliness? Saving you from all that pain and suffering? Why? Because you stood up and allowed the Spirit of God, knowing that that same power that brought you here is able to keep you, and in the twinkling of an eye. Don't worry, baby. Everything's going to be all right. I hope you got that message. It's pretty tough, but it's all right. I'm going to go back to bed. Talk to you later. Goodbye.